Let's go to India, shall we? We've been wanting to cover this story for a while and just give everybody an update, you know. So Trump officially has written into the federal record that tariffs on India will go into effect tomorrow. 50% import duties on all goods from India because they continue to buy oil from Russia. So of course, the conventional view was, oh my God, India, they can't stand this. They're gonna buckle immediately. Yeah, not happening. Let's go and put this up here on the screen. Here's the latest from New Delhi. Quote, India will buy oil from wherever it gets the best deal, according to their envoy from Russia. They say they will continue to protect the interests of their 1.4 billion people, according to their ambassador for Russia. They've disregarded the economic leverage from the United States. New Delhi media has turned dramatically against the Trump administration. They're literally burning Trump in effigy, which we'll show you perhaps in a little bit. But more broadly, Peter Navarro, the entire administration has decided that India, who is the second largest purchaser of Russian oil, not China, is apparently the villain here for reasons that remain completely mystifying. They at the same time want to end the war in Ukraine, but at the other side of their mouth are pursuing the neoconservative fever dream of punishing other countries, strategically important countries, for buying Russian oil. So, okay, I guess that makes a lot of sense. Here's Peter Navarro, the trade guru, going off on India, which, by the way, this interview has gone massively viral in India from what I have seen. Let's take a listen.
There's a general perception that somehow India needs Russian oil to basically power its domestic economy, but that's just wrong. What's going on is the Russian refiners got in bed with the Indian refiners. Russia offers these refiners a steep discount on the crude, and they partner with the Indian refiners, and then they sell the refined products at premium prices to Africa, Asia, and Europe, and that funds the war machine. What that means is that we wind up having to pay more. Europe has to pay more for defense. The U.S. have to send Ukraine more, and it's because of the Indian profiteering. And think about what India is doing to the United States, right? It steals our jobs. It slows down our growth with their unfair trade practices. Okay, so we take a hit there. And then when it gets into this profiteering scheme with Russia to send oil to basically the Kremlin laundromat for the crude oil, basically it forces U.S. taxpayers to pay more to help Ukraine in the war. India needs to stand up here for the world, for democracy. It's the biggest democracy in the world by the amount of people, and it's basically in bed with the Russians, and that's not conducive to peace. If India tomorrow stopped buying Russian oil, that would go a long way towards getting Putin to the ultimate yes that we need. They don't create a lot of jobs, they just profiteer. So that's wrong, as is the high tariffs and non-tariff barriers and in charges. I mean, look, they can keep doing what they're doing, but Donald Trump is going to keep doing what he's doing, and that's going to mean the high tariffs to stop them from selling Russian oil, buying Russian oil, and high tariffs to get their trade barriers down.
Yeah, might as well have voted for Joe Biden. You know, I mean, India's got to stand up. Why? Who gives a shit if the oil comes from a democracy or not? Yeah, all of our oil is coming from a democracy, Krystal. Were you aware of that? I had no idea that we only bought oil from democracies, okay?
There's another question she asked him, like, okay, but India said they're not going to do this. And he just sort of like changes the subject, but it reminds very much of, it recalls very much when Biden was asked this question about the policy vis-a-vis the Houthis. Bingo. And he was like, is it going to work? No. Is it going to continue? Yes. And this is basically what Navarro was like. Well, he's like, well, India's going to do what they're going to do, but here's what we want them to do. It's like, okay, but they're not going to do that. So now you're just putting tariffs on this country, damaging your relationship, like trashing your relationship with them, turning a country that was previously pretty like pro-American against America altogether. And by the way, I mean, those tariffs that you're levying on India are going to have impacts, again, on American consumers all to do what? Accomplish literally nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's the point. And how is that? How is the maximum pressure going, by the way? Are we closer to peace? Yeah, no. Can we go ahead and put B4 up here on the screen? Shocker. Lavrov says no plan for a Putin-Zelensky meeting. In fact, he basically was like, Zelensky is illegitimate. We're not even sure if we really need to meet with him. So yeah, we're actually a lot closer after the Putin summit. And this is all because, Trump has basically embraced this neocon framing on India specifically, not China, just so we're all aware. The actual geopolitical adversary, the one that buys most of the Russian oil, nope. Completely is actually getting a free pass. There are Chinese negotiators on the way over here. Sure, the tariffs and the trade duties remain, but there's so many exclusions. He's talking nothing but nicely about China. It's like the opposite of how you would want to conduct this. And by the way, again, this presumes that the war in Ukraine is such a fundamental interest that the United States should tariff one of its top 10 trading partners 50% higher than any other duty than any other country to try and bring about peace in Ukraine. Oh, and by the way, that's not even working. Like, at every single step of the logic chain, it all falls apart. This is the same problem with the entire administration strategy right now. They go tough on Japan, on Korea, and India, soft on China. You should flip it. Those three are the ones that you want on your side if you want to, quote, isolate China and or pivot to Asia. You want great trading relationships all around the Asia Pacific, making sure that these are rock solid, happy US allies or strategic partners, and then you use your leverage on the Chinese government to try and extract some benefit. Instead, we're quite literally doing the opposite. Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.